There you go. Give that a try. Here, let me know. Come, look in the camera.
Yeah, it's just hard.
What do you think?
To do it.
I know. It actually tastes really good.
Oh, it actually. Hey guys, Hafa Adai. Welcome back to my channel. As with this one here, it's another cooking video, and not just any cooking video, but I am making a dish that is very popular in Guam. But more specifically, I'm making it the way I like it. In Guam, it is known as shrimp patties. But the way I started doing it in the last probably 10 years, I was using crab meat. And I do use imitation crab meat when I'm making this. So the ingredients that I have today, that I already have the shrimp and the crab meat prepped in the bowl. As you probably see a little clip that I did dice them up. I do make it to where chunky pieces as well as really small diced up pieces. So that way you can actually see and get the flavor of both the shrimp and the crab meat. But the other items that you're gonna need is flour, baking powder, and then for your seasoning, this is optional. This is up to you if you want to use the actual onion and garlic pieces, but I use onion and garlic powder, and then as well as salt. For the liquid portions, I do have carnation milk, and if you don't have enough carnation milk or if you run out for the batter, no worries, because you can always use regular milk. And in reference to liquid in Guam, this was also traditionally made with beer. I myself have never learned to make it with beer, so that's why I use carnation milk, and then of course, again, like I just said, you can also use regular milk. You're just going to have to compensate in reference to the seasoning, so that way it doesn't lose any of that flavor. The other item that you're going to need is eggs, and because I do have a lot in reference to the crab meat and the shrimp, normally I put 1, maybe 2 eggs, but this time around I'm doing 3 eggs. So sit back, relax, and let's dive in to make some delicious crab shrimp patties. Alright, so now is the time that we add all the ingredients together. And I typically start with the wet ingredients, which is the milk and the eggs. And if you see, the reason why I keep lifting that is that I just want to make sure the stringy parts of the egg have been nice and whisked or mixed. And then from there, I add the main ingredient, which is our shrimp and crab meat. And now that I've added the seafood to it, I know for sure that I will be adding milk to the mixture. Just go ahead and give that a quick stir. And something that I forgot to mention at the start of the video are the vegetables. So you got your seafood, and then you want to add your vegetables. For me personally, I do use the peas, carrots, and corn for that flavor. And then of course, as you can see, with all that beautiful color. So just throw that in there. That's about 1.5 cups. The other thing that I like to do is, only because I do like the taste of corn in this, is when you get that bite and you taste that corn, it just adds a little bit of that sweetness to that bite. But again, in reference to how much vegetable you want to have in this mix, you can add as little or as lot. So this is probably now 2.5 cups worth of vegetables. And like I said, I already know just by mixing this in here that I will definitely need to add more milk, more liquid. So let's go ahead and do that. So we'll start with just 1 cup at a time. I didn't fill that up all the way. And because I did add more liquid, we are going to have to add more seasoning. Once I get to this point, I pretty much just eyeball it. Despite at the start of the video you saw me using measure spoons, I really just eyeball it. And when you make stuff long enough, you know, when you're cooking things long enough, I mean, that's pretty much all you're doing is you just eyeball it. But I will include the basic recipe in the description of the video. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and add the dry. And the same thing, I think with what I started out initially, which is 2 cups of flour, because I added more milk, I probably will start, I will probably need to add more flour as well. Now, if you've watched my previous video in reference to making the Buñelos Uhang or the banana donuts, I try to make the batter kind of the same way, to where you don't want it to just be pouring off the spoon. It should have some thickness to it, so as you're putting it into the fryer, it's just not pouring off like liquid off the spoon. Okay, so I did add a little bit more flour and a little bit more seasoning. And the other seasoning you can use is also black pepper. I don't use it because, or when I'm making it, because my mom, she can't do black pepper. Did I say black powder? Black pepper. But let's go ahead and test it out. So like I said, you want it to fall off the spoon and not pour off. So see how that took a moment before it actually fell off the spoon? That is good. And to make it easier, just like with the banana donuts, what I use to put it into the fryer is my handy dandy cookie scooper. It makes it so much easier. And you can control the size. I mean, this is the smallest of the ones that you normally see. But, I mean, especially, I mean, it just makes it easier because the bigger they are in the fryer, that means you have to cook them longer because you want to make sure it's nice and cooked down to the center. Oh yeah, look at that. That's perfect. I don't know if you saw that or not. Let's do that one more time. So I scoop it in there, and look at that. It's perfect. All right. So my oil is nice and hot, so let's get to frying. So one of the things I also like to do before I start frying, because I don't have my thermometer to check the temperature of the oil, is I dip the spoon that I was using to stir it up into the fryer. And it's nice and bubbly, so that means it's ready to go. So let's get to frying. All right, so you're gonna fry it anywhere from 7 to 10 minutes. It really just depends on how many you put into the fryer at one time, but you're gonna fry it to a nice golden brown. There might be some trouble trying to get an even color on both sides, because just like with my banana donuts, you'll get those that just don't want to stay turned to get that nice even color on both sides. See what I mean? Do you see that guy right there? He just turned right back over. Alright, so the reason why I was cooking my crab shrimp patties was because we do have a family gathering, which is typically what we have on Saturday night. So I've got my oldest granddaughter right here. This is my oldest daughter. This is my middle child, which there you go. And her husband. Well, not her husband, but Lexi's husband. But this is the finished product with the crab shrimp patties. So let's go ahead and take one and crack it open and see. All right. Look at that.
It's going to be really good.
Oh, yes.
It's going to be
Yep.
So if you have yet to try any food from Guam, this definitely is something to give a try. Like I said, in Guam, it's typically known as shrimp patties, but I personally like adding crab meat to it, so it's crab shrimp patties. And although it's called patties, they are not flat, but nice and round, almost like a fritter.
They are both.
But there you go. Give that a try. Here, let me know. Come, look in the camera.
Yeah, it's just hard.
What do you
to
think?
do it.
It actually tastes really good.
Oh, it actually tastes really good. Huh?
This is
Alright.
the honest opinion of a child, so you know.
So, if, like as I was saying, if you haven't met anybody that's from Guam yet, or been to any celebration where you're gonna find Chamorro food, make sure you find that. Or you can just follow videos like mine and make it on your own. But I do appreciate you stopping by to watch this video, and I also hope that you give it a try if you've never tried this recipe before. And then just come back and let me know what you think. But thank you so much for watching. Si Duas Maasi. So until next time, adios for now.
Adios.